This video is going to be showing you how to improve in Valorant if you play Sova as your main. We'll go through each map showing you 3 different recon bolts that you can use to make sure that you're using them effectively, and giving your team as much of an advantage as possible. After watching this, you'll be able to offer a lot more to your team in terms of information, and by doing this, you'll win more games. The first map we'll be looking at is Ascent, and the first bolt is actually really simple. From the attacking side on B, you'll want to stand in the corner of this room and aim through the window at the big painting of a giraffe. Aim right at the tip of its nose and then slightly up. It doesn't matter too much how far you go up, but this is the best spot. Then fire a no bounce, max charge bolt. This bolt will reveal anyone trying to get an angle on the entrance to B and anyone standing in the doorway on the right, and also anyone standing on the left side too. The second bolt can be used to gain information on the middle of the map. You'll want to head over to this crack on the right of the attacker's spawn and stand in the middle of it against the wall. What you'll then want to do is line up the right corner of your charge meter with the middle tree above the building. Then fire a 2-bar shot. This one takes a little while to land in its spot, so you can draw your weapon and get ready to engage if it locates any enemies. The bolt will go over the building in front and land on the near corner of the building on the left. This will locate anyone holding angles on the back left corner, on the right of the archway, and even far over on the other side, if they aren't behind the green box. The final bolt location can be used to help you defend A. Go to the back corner of the bomb site on the right of this generator and look up at the corner of the furthest roof. Then you'll want to drag your crosshair a little to the left and up, staying in line with the faint dark grey line on the far buildings. Fire a 2-bar bolt to reveal enemies looking to push the bomb site. This works in a few ways. If you get some info on player locations, then your teammates can flank through mid, and you also know that they haven't rushed. If you don't, then you know that they've either rushed A or gone to B. Moving on to bind, there's a killer bolt that can really help when attacking B. Go left from spawn and line yourself up with this cactus. Then look up at this building and aim your crosshair at the top of the stairs next to the yellow panel. If you fire a fully charged 1-bounce recon bolt right here, it will land on the corner of this building at B, fully exposing most of the site, allowing you to push easier, or if available, use your util for an easy kill. When on the defending team, you can stand in line with this crate at the B bomb site. Then look up at the corner of this building. Keep aiming up until you align roughly with the top of this antenna on the right, and fire a 1-bar bolt. This will loop over hookah and land on the left wall, right where the enemy team will either be pushing from or holding angles. This gives out a ton of info and even covers a bit of the archway right at the bottom. The last one is essentially the counter to this. From the attacker spawn, go through mid and line yourself up with the outside of this plank of wood and the second crack from the wall on the stairs. Look up and through the gap in the roof and aim at the slight corner where this wooden panel is sticking out. Then slightly move your crosshair down and fire a 2-bar bolt. This will land directly in hookah and will expose anyone trying to hold angles. A perfect recon bolt for an early mid push. The first recon bolt in Breeze might be my favourite. From the defender's spawn, head left to this box with a vase in it. You'll then want to look up and line up the top left of your mouse 1 box with the bottom of this plant. Seems complicated, but once you do it a couple times, it'll get much quicker. If you fire a 2-bar bolt with no bounce, it'll loop over the entirety of A and land right in the cave at the back, where a lot of players will peek and hold angles from. This can be used to set up at A to defend, or move on over to B. If you want to clear out mid, you can line the first bar of your charge meter up with this box on the left, and aim just above the stone wall at the back. Charge a bolt all the way up to max and it will land on the wall just outside the enemy spawn. This way you can get an idea of whether they're pushing mid or heading off to B. From the attacker's side, you can stand in the corner where this cannon meets the wall and look up at the protruding plank of wood from the right. You'll want to line up the second line of your charge meter with the bottom of the leaves just above it. This allows you to fire a 2-bar bolt right into the left-hand corner of B, revealing anyone holding angles from behind the wall and in the corner. This makes it loads easier to push in as you now only need to focus on the right-hand side. The first recon bolt you can use on Fracture is in this spot when attacking A. Peek round the corner and aim at the corner of the wall in front. Pull your crosshair slightly to the left of the corner and fire a 1-bounce bolt. It will land in the middle of the wall here, locating people holding angles behind this box. If you're attacking B from this side, you can stand in the corner next to this yellow box and look at the wall on the left. Line up the inner grey box of your charge meter with the left-hand side of this garage door, and make sure your crosshair is below the line. You can then fire a 1-bounce full power bolt which will bounce off the door and land right in the corner of this cubby hole here. This will allow you to see players behind the main box and on the corner, and will even show players in the cubby too. On the flip side of this, if you're defending site B, you can peek this corner and shoot a bolt at the section of the wall under this plant here. The position of this bolt doesn't matter too much as long as you hit the upper part of the wall. So aim a little bit above, allowing for dip, and charge the bolt up fully with one bounce. This will tell you if any players are there looking to push around the corner. On Haven, there is a great spot to shoot a recon bolt which will cover most of A. If you're rotating from B to A, you can fire a bolt right from the corner of this building, which overlooks everything. This one is super simple, but can be very effective when reclaiming a site. The garage is one of the key parts of Haven for Sova players, as there are a lot of angles that you can come at it from. To gain info on this area, you'll want to line yourself up with this window and turn up to look at the closest ridge from the wall. Step forward a little bit, making sure you can still see the window frame on your screen. Line up your crosshair to the middle of the ridge and fire with 1 bar of power, no bounce. This will land a fair distance behind the garage doors, giving you the location of anyone holding an angle on it. The last recon bolt can be fired from the back corner of this area, which leads to C from the attacker's side. Stand in the right corner and aim at the top of this plant that's sticking out. Shoot a 1 bar bolt and it will land right on the back wall of the site. This will locate anyone in the area, making it much safer to push up or pre-fire a corner someone is holding. The first spot to take advantage of on Icebox is when attacking Site A. Line up on the right hand side of this door and aim at the end of this strip of light. Put 2 bars of power on to make sure it lands on this wall in the middle of A. This will reach most of this area, especially the key parts where people will try and hold angles. Again, super simple but super effective. The second spot is from the defender's spawn. You can go to this corner and aim up. Make sure that the 2 bounce indicators are either side of these wires. Charge it up by 1 bar and it will land directly in their mid spawn. This is a really common spot where players go at the start of the game, so will definitely make a difference in the rounds. When defending A, you can stand in the corner here between the green box and the wall, and aim at the top corner of it. Then drag your aim a little bit to the left while staying on the dark grey line. Charge up the bolt by 2 bars and put 1 bounce on. This will go through the gap in the roof and land straight onto the corner of the wall here, revealing all players pushing A. One last spot on Icebox can be found right in the middle of the defender's spawn. If you line up in this corner and aim with your owl drone sitting just below this small square on the box, you can shoot a 1 bar bolt which will land right on the corner of this building. A good recon bolt to use on the final map, Split, involves jumping on this planter on the right of the attacker's spawn, aiming your crosshair right where the 2 orange lines meet on the right of this sign, and shoot a 1 bounce full power shot. This will land right on the wall next to the ramp leading to A. This one is a really solid one. Before peeking this corner in the middle of the map, line yourself up with the first crack from the right on the ground. Then aim at the far right corner of the building above, but aim between the corner and the corner of the black ledge on it. Then charge it up 1 bar with no bounce. It will land right in the middle where the enemy team will likely be setting up and will even reveal players inside the back room if they are close. For the last bolt, you'll want to go over to the left hand side of the attacker's spawn, jump on these boxes and stand in between the 2 of them. Then simply look up and aim below the satellite dish and in line with the corner of these 2 black lines. Fire a 2 bar charged bolt with no bounce and it will land right on this balcony overlooking B. It will cover a good chunk of it and will even spot players sitting in this little cubby too. So they were our picks for the best recon bolts to help you improve at playing Sova. We promise that if you use these, you will win more games and become integral to your squad. If you did enjoy the video and it helped you out, please do like and subscribe to the channel. Thank you all for watching and we'll catch you in the next video.